Hello, class. This is Professor Barry, and we are in week 3. I want to take the time just to say congratulations. You've made it to week 3. We're almost at the halfway mark. Continue logging on to your class daily, or if not, about 3 to 4 times a week, making sure that you're checking up on your week 3, module 3 homework and assignments. For week 3, you have your first quiz. You have quiz number 1 on chapters. It should be chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure you check that out. Everything's under week 3, module 3. And that will be just about 10 questions. Make sure that you pay attention, select the right answer, and make sure that you complete that and upload it. Or just finish it. Listening skills paper. Make sure that you follow the directions for that. It's just 2 pages, double spaced. Think critically. Read this chapter that we're talking about this week, dealing with listening skills in your relationships, and that paper will focus on how listening skills can enhance your relationships. It could be you can pick maybe like a husband and wife or partners or something. You could talk about children, parents and children, but I want you to think about your interpersonal relationships and how listening skills really can enhance that. I want you to also pay attention and look over your weekly PowerPoint lesson for this week, for week 3, just in case if you're not up on your book, you have the information right there for you. So there's no excuse for not keeping up with this class. You have a lot of materials being supplied to you. But today, let's talk about listening and thinking critically. Also make sure that you don't forget your week 3 discussion. There is a video, about a 10-minute video that you need to watch. And it may be a little bit difficult, so you may need to rewatch it. But what you need to do is listen carefully. It may not be always easy to understand what the lady is talking about, but you want to listen carefully and make sure that you can listen for points that she is discussing. And you'll discuss that in your week 3 discussion board. All right, so let's talk about listening skills today. Listening, you have the definition there for you. It's when we're taking in information, but making sense of what we're hearing. And it doesn't mean that we're just hearing the person. Hearing is just a natural body function that we do. We're thankful that our ears work, or either we have some devices to help our ears work. However, listening goes a step further. It's hearing and then doing something. It's reactive. And so listening is a process. Listening is a skill. And guess what? All of us, from babies to senior citizens, all of us have to work on our listening skills. It's a skill. We aren't born great listeners. And I want you to think about our society at hand. Do you think that we are good listeners or poor listeners? And I think the answer to that is probably we are poor listeners, and we are. In this society, we are very focused on ourselves and what we have going on, our technology, and we don't listen very well. But there is hope. With things like this, classes like this, and activities that we're doing, we can focus more on how we are listening or not listening to other people. Listening is an action. It is something that we do. It isn't something that we say we are doing, but it's something that we do. We have to participate with people. So if you say that you are really listening to this lecture, right, you may have to turn something else off. You may have to go in another room where it's quiet. You may have to leave the other people at the table that we're talking in order to really listen and comprehend what I'm saying. Okay, that's what we mean by it is an active process. Listening is essential for all of our relationships, whether it's a relationship we have on the job, with our children, with our sisters and brothers, with our spouses. We have to listen to people. And I always am amazed. Have you ever been to a restaurant, let's say a Red Lobster? I love seafood, but that's not real seafood. But if you go to a restaurant and you get the waiter or waitress comes to your table, and I'm always astounded by the people that don't have to write it down. They listen to each person, and then when they come back, they get it right. They get your meal right. Well, they've been practicing that skill for some time, and they are able to listen and also make different clues so that they know who ordered what. listening skills are important, and we can't just take people for granted and think that we heard them, and we really did not. A particular type of listening that I want to focus on real quickly is called empathic listening. And that's listening to support the speaker. It's listening to give some type of emotional support. And that might be a friend needing to talk about their day. It may be your spouse talking about, some situations that happen at work. It may be your children talking about some things that happen at school, or if you have older children, talking about things that are happening in their own lives. People come to us oftentimes wanting to share things, and when we are really not listening, they shut down. So we tend not to give our personal pearls, to people who are not listening. So I want to challenge you in your listening now, that if somebody comes to you with something, that you put things to the side, get off of your phones, turn around and give them eye contact, lean into them, see what they have to say, look at them, give them your full attention. It will make so much difference. Another thing in terms of distractions keep us from listening to people. I talked about technology. I talked about busy rooms. We are so distracted in our society. So if we can eliminate the distractions in our area, that also helps for a better listening. So if a student wants to talk to me, I don't want to talk to them out in the midst of everybody listening to our personal conversation. Maybe we need to go in a quiet room where, they can talk about their feelings or concern. Here's another thing, too, that I want to challenge you on, and myself as well. Nobody is a perfect listener. But I want us to listen to hear and not listen to people in order to gain some time to build up our response. Have you ever been in an argument with someone? And you may be quiet for a certain period of time, but you're really not quiet listening. You're quiet and you're formulating your argument. All of us do it. And what I want us to think about, because I'm included, is to really listen. Listen to their perspective, listen to their hurt and to their feelings. It doesn't mean that we're always going to agree, but just listen to their perspective and then give yours. Don't just shut theirs down, even if you don't agree with it. We don't have to agree, but listen to hear and not always responding. Okay, that's our challenge for this week. So I don't want to make this too long. I want you to make sure that you're going over this chapter. I think you just have one chapter this week to focus on that listening. Oh, it's very important. And also challenge yourselves to close this and open this. Okay, I hope you're having a good day. Take care.